Hey Rambler fans, we're here with 2 women's basketball alumni and 4 of our current seniors to talk Loyola basketball, Title IX, and share some great memories and stories. Let's start it off with some intros. Go ahead, Eileen.
Hi, I'm Eileen McMahon Copenhaver. Went to school here from 1979 to 83. Then I was fortunate enough to be an assistant coach from 1983 to 1990.
My name is Lisa. My maiden name was Kasperwitz, Rakebush, and I was a student athlete at Loyola from 1980 to 84.
My name is Jayla Johnson, and I'm a rising senior here at Loyola.
My name is Julia Heffling, and I am going to be a senior.
I'm Sam Villanopoulos, and I am going to be a senior.
I'm Anna Brown, and I'm going to be a senior.
So we're going to start off with the alumni. Could you just describe your experiences being a student athlete at Loyola, specifically playing basketball?
I guess I'll start first. I was fortunate enough to be the first class to receive an athletic scholarship for girls, 1979. My year was tuition only. It was a huge deal, and I credit a lot of that opportunity to Roz Isillo, who was right before me in high school. We went to the same high school. She did a little work and filed a little lawsuit, and my class was the beneficiary of that.
So I came in the year after Eileen. This was 1980, and Title IX was enacted into law in 1972. So this is already almost 10 years after the fact that some things started happening. Certainly at the time, it was very exciting. I know my parents were literally shocked that this could really happen, that, yeah, right, you're gonna get a scholarship to go to college. Come on, you need to get serious here. Seriously, I mean, that was my parents' reaction. You know that, Eileen. The reality of being an athlete in the early 80s, we were tomboys. You weren't an athlete. You were, a little bit weird, and, why do you want to do this? And, what are you going to get out of this? You can't make a career of this, so why are you spending your time this way? So definitely the reality of the time is very different, where, how many millions of girls now play high school sports, and you guys are looked at as athletes. People don't look at you as, oh, they're something different because they just happen to really love basketball. For us, just the opportunity to still play basketball at a competitive level and to have those benefits was just an amazing thing. So as much as we can sit here and say, oh man, we ate at McDonald's when we traveled, and we rode in vans, and the vans used to always break down, and just the difference in the kind of resources that you all have now is night and day. For us at the time, we were still very excited to just even have that opportunity.
When you were here, did you feel support from on-campus entities, generally like the university, support from the general student population?
Personally, the administration around us was also young at the time. They were on this new wave, so it was new for everybody. It's not like they had years and years of experience, but they were excited. I will say they were the kindest people, and they would do anything, whether we had money or not. If somebody needed something, they would go out. To me, that's what Loyola should be about. That no matter what the situation, they were kind, they spent their money, they cared for you. Now you probably have, and you should have, psychologists. You should have access to those kind of things. Nutrition, all those kind of things. They were our people. In extreme situations,
they were the academic advisors.
They were everything.
They
were everything. So, but in extreme situations, only a couple, they knew enough to reach out. Okay, but all that stuff should be there, so you don't get to that point. It was about getting practice gear, about washing the clothes, what they're made of. Sponsored, little things made a huge difference. But it was the travel. We didn't really take any plane trips. We always drove.
I don't even remember staying in a hotel. Like, I remember one trip to Bradley where we were in Peoria. That's honestly one of the only road trips in my 4 years that I could even.
Right, we would play, then come back 4 or 5 hours that night.
We're very spoiled. We'll fly like an hour away, stuff like that.
If it's above 5 hours a drive, we will be flying, charter flights too.
Yeah.
So we weren't in a coach bus, which was safer. We were in a 15-passenger van, which we were happy to be on it, those kind of things. But as you're on these trips in the middle of winter, coming back from Eastern Illinois, and you feel like you're going to blow over, it got serious real quick.
And who was driving?
Well, the coach.
The coach always wrote.
The coach or a manager. But that whole idea of, and at the time, though, he was 19 or 20, driving a 15 passenger van. I would say back then that they did have an academic advisor for the men's team. And then, we didn't have one specific for everybody. But you see that now. We saw it then. But at some point we were happy to be there to start it. But you did feel a little bit beneath. You did. It's how can you not? How can you not?
And as much as we felt that support from our people,
Yes.
it was still very much, oh, you're just women's basketball, and the men get to have these. I remember their pregame meal down at the restaurant.
Exactly.
They had steak, and we didn't have pregame. I mean, we didn't have pregame meals before home games, And I'm not kidding when I say that we went to McDonald's
all the time,
like on a road trip. And
but it didn't deter us from having a fantastic time, creating great relationships. I mean, I went into coaching. I didn't want to leave. I stayed here another 7 years, trying to figure out my life, I guess. But still love the game of basketball. I still get to coach. Right?
Eileen, when she was our assistant coach, she wasn't even a full-time assistant. She had a full-time job. She worked at the Board of Trade from 6 to 2.
Wait, no, this was my day, and I did this for 2 years, and I would not change a thing. Okay, I literally got up at 4:30 in the morning.
You got me first, though.
Okay, 4:30 in the morning. I'd go down to the Board of Trade. I worked for Dean Witter. I worked in the out trades, like clerking and stuff like that. It was a nice job. So I was done by 1:32. And then I'd hop on the L. I'd go to practice here. Well, then after practice, I had night school because I was getting my master's. Oh my God. Yes. So, and that was the grind. My comfort zone has always been in between those lines. Like, that's where you see, like, that's my comfort zone, whether it be playing or coaching. That's what I love. But when I was in college, I always looked for a little extra money and then try to get a little job here and there. So I started doing officiating. And I actually was one of the first females to do a boys' game in this area at that time when I was in college. I'm just going to tell you, don't let anything intimidate you. If you want to do it, I don't care if it's men's, girls, whatever, go out and do it and enjoy it. It is so pleasurable for me now to see women coaching on the men's side. To see people breaking through and to get that opportunity.
Was there familiarity on campus? Did other people and your friends know you were on the basketball team when you were here?
Well,
people in your classes?
One of the, it was our mission to get people to come to our games. So of course, and I'm a loud person. I like.
Wait, this is. I have heard this over 1,000 times. And every time it still pumps me up. But this is how Lisa used to broadcast our games.
But I would walk into games and I would scream, okay, get yourself ready here. This is going to be really loud. It's actually going to be pretty awesome because we're in an auditorium.
Yes.
And my husband would be so mad that I did this because he said if he knew me when I used to do this, he probably wouldn't have married me. But, and we've been married 36 years. So, go! My brother was listening to a men's game on the radio once, and he said, I heard you!
One thing to wrap up, what has been the most surprising thing you've heard from the alumni? What is something that...
Go Ramblers?
No,
McDonald's.
Oh, the McDonald's or the van?
The van.
I think the 19-year-old driving you guys.
Yeah, the manager.
He was a good driver, but it was,
I also think you guys said you had like one person that did everything. Like,
Yeah.
we have you for you go to her for that.
It's nice to see when you look at the staff and rosters now of all the things available as far as, media, academics. I mean, go down the list. It's invaluable.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We will-
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was nice meeting you guys.
So nice meeting you guys.
Thanks for joining us today. If you're interested in learning more about Title IX, you can visit our website, and we'll see you at the next Ramblers game.